Town Downtown second summer concert. Tonight we have the Farmington Valley Band with us, and they're sponsored by Carbon Funeral Home, right over here on the left. You got the phone. We just want to say that a couple quick reminders that we have on Thursdays from 3:30 to 6:30. We have our farmers market over in the Bean parking lot. Grab something over there to bring over here and munch on during the concerts. And our concerts are on Thursdays from 6:30 to 8:30. And I have in my hand a couple flyers that you might see around town. They're for our concerts and our farmers market. If you want a copy of the concert schedule, you can come over to the Lions Club over here. They have a booth. They're serving their famous popcorn and drinks. And there's a little copy on the table of our concert schedule. So we want to welcome you. And again, just remind you that these concerts are brought to you by First Town Downtown. And I'm Debbie, and I'm your Main Street manager. So without delay, Farmington Valley Band.
On a night like tonight. Anybody hear me, by the way? Or anybody? After the last week that we've had with the weather and all, it's really nice to be out on a nice, dry night. It's a really night to hear some nice music, which I hope you're going to enjoy. I'm Sam Bouillon. This is the Farmington Valley Band. Now we'd like to open our concert by playing the Star Spangled Banner. Mark will take the vocal, Mark McNally, our vocalist. We honor our flag and our country with our national anthem. We invite you to stand and sing if you're able. And And to start our concert off, the concert proper, we'd like to play one of the most famous marches ever written by a New England composer named Ezra Badley. The gentleman that used to direct this band many years ago told me that when the Buckley Bridge in Hartford was being dedicated in 1907 or so, he was playing in one of the bands, one of the many bands in that dedicatory parade, and that they were all playing this. This was the latest hit march, and after all these years, it's still pretty good. So here is the National Emblem March. And our first march that we played is, some people think, I guess it's so good, that John Philip Sousa, the March King, wrote it, but it wasn't, even though he thought it was a very good march. But we do have something by John Philip Sousa now. He wrote not just marches, he wrote many different kinds of music. And this one here, I guess you could say, is sort of program music that depicts something. And this is from a suite called Looking Upward. And this is the movement he titled By the Light of the Polar Star. So we're all looking upward. We'll jump up a little bit with our next one. This has been, I think it was a movie first, then a Broadway show. But I'm sure anybody who's been on this planet for the last while is familiar with the idea of the Lion King. So what we have here is a nice medley of the songs and the big numbers from the Broadway show, The Lion King. Roar. John's getting his exercise tonight. We're been kind of hit by COVID, so we're a little short-handed tonight, but John has graciously agreed to play both clarinet and saxophone, not at the same time, but he'll play them both as comp, and so now he's on alto sax. Our next number is a good old jazz number from Maynard Ferguson. Everybody knows of Maynard, if you like jazz, big band jazz from the 1940s, 50s, and 60s. And this one is called Maynard Madness. And the first one is called Coconut Champagne. I'm not at all sure what that one is. The second one is not a train whistle. The second one, the two numbers in this, the second one, I'm sure you will recognize it from a movie of the 1980s, I guess. Gotta Fly Now, one of his most famous numbers. So, here we are with Maynard Ferguson and Maynard Madness. Thank you. Jack, take a bow. There's our on the drums, keeping things going, Jack Summers. Appreciate him being here tonight, too. Okay, back to Broadway. But the Broadway is the 1950s. This is an arrangement that was made by a gentleman named Robert Russell Bennett, who was a very good arranger in his day, in the 1930s, 40s, and 50s. He even arranged for the Metropolitan Opera a couple of times when they wanted to have a band on stage. And this one here is a medley from a Broadway show based on a book that was called Anna and the King of Siam. This one is simply titled The King and I. There's a lot of tunes I'm sure you'll recognize. They've been popular for many years. So we have The King and I, and so do you. Okay, typically, closely first hour has gone by. We'd like to end up with a kind of a classic march. This was written by a gentleman named Paul Laval, who was a clarinet player with the NBC Symphony and Pasolini's New York Philharmonic, and later went on to direct an aggregation called the City's Service Band of America, which was very popular in its day. I remember hearing them at the New York World's Fair. This piece he wrote along with a gentleman named Joe Parto, who was one of the tuba players in the 1920s up through the 50s. And he had what was supposedly the biggest tuba in the world. Well, we can't say that, but we've got two good-sized tubas and tuba players here tonight. And so this piece is called Big Joe the Tuba, and it's not dedicated to Joe Pardo, who played it. This is dedicated to the tuba. I remember one night at the New York World's Fair asking Paul Laval to play this piece, and he didn't. I would have given him a buck, so. Oh well. Anyway, Big Joe the Tuba, featuring, obviously, the bass brass. That's our bass section, 4 trombones, 2 tubas, 2 euphoniums. Okay, now we're going to give them a chance to change their lips and take a bit of a break, but we'll be back soon, so don't go away. It's much too nice tonight to go away from here. And while we're at it, let's see. Don't forget to stop off at the Lions Coat tent over there. Stop over and visit at the Carmen Community Funeral Home table over there. They're very generously sponsoring our concert tonight, and we sure do appreciate it. We really, hi John, we do really enjoy playing here because it's always a good audience, and not always great weather, but tonight it couldn't be better. So see you in a few minutes.
You want to run up? You want me to introduce you? You want to grab it?
No.
How about a big hand for the Farmington Valley Band? So, we've been proud to support and sponsor them for how many years, Sam?
10 years anyway, or more.
Oh, more than 10.
10, 15.
Close to 50, over 15, I think.
I think so.
Or, Sam worked for us for how many years?
About 30 years.
About 30 years before he retired, and now he can do this full time. Anyway, thank you all very much for coming here. Thank you for putting up with Sam for all that you do as he leads. Yeah. And just want to thank and some of our staff that are here tonight that have been passing out these popsicles, so please feel free. If you want more, just ask us. Stand, say hello. Thank you all very much. Jay, Lauren, Beth. Enjoy the evening. We're glad it's a lot cooler. Thank you for being here.
Oh, we're back again and ready to go. Nice to see all of you still here. And it's a beautiful, beautiful night. So we're going to start off with a march that I wrote. I wrote it for no particular reason, but then I noticed that it was springtime, graduation time, and so I thought of the various titles that people give to graduates. I decided to call it the Salutatorium. It's a good old street march. But we're not going to go on the street. I'd like to pay tribute now to one of the great singers of the 20th century. As an announcer in a band I played for, he used to say, none other than Frank Sinatra. We'd like to play one of Frank's biggest hits. It's called Come Fly With Me. I'll bet we all know that, right? Frank Sinatra, Come Fly With Me. Let's put that one on the table. Okay, we'd like to feature a really very talented young man who's joined the band this last season. And he is a mallet player and percussion player going to Central Connecticut University down in Britain. And he's going to give us a solo tonight on the xylophone, and it's called Serenade to a Picket Fence. I can't imagine why they give it a title like that, but maybe you'll be able to figure it out when you hear it. So let's give a hand to Alex Belanger for our soloist for this evening. Great job, Alex. How about that, folks? How about that? That's tickling the xylophone. Thanks, Alex. Great job. Another Broadway musical. There's a never-ending succession of them, thank goodness, on the stage in New York. This one is based on a comic strip, which was very popular for many years, Little Orphan Annie. How many of you remember Little Orphan Annie? I'm sure many of us remember turning to the Sunday paper for that one. and this is a musical from Broadway. Tunes are maybe a little different if you're familiar with the movie. There's one or two songs that don't appear in both productions. But this one here is a very good arrangement, and it's simply titled Annie. I'd like to go with Paul Simon now, and to feature another very talented member of the band, Brian Dietz, who has been a member of this band for a good many years now. And he played the trumpet, he played the euphonium tonight, and he's also an arranger. So he arranged this piece for all brass band, but I heard it and I thought I agreed with him. It would go well with a brass and reed band as well. So before it gets too much darker up here, Brian, come on up and lead your arrangement of The Sounds of Silence.
You know, the poor tuba players don't get to play too many solos, so I want everyone to pay close attention to the back row. The two guys with the biggest amount of hardware back there, they're going to get to do a solo in the beginning of this, so please give them a huge hand when they get to it.
Make them stand up. Stand up.
Nice job, Ryan. Take a bow. Take another bow. You like directing the band or give him a chance to rest his lip at the same time. It's a win-win. And we all like to see Brian up in front, so that's a win for us all. Thanks, Brian. Great arrangement, too. The 4th of July is over, but there's always time for some patriotic numbers. We'd like to honor our members that are in the armed services who have served, who are serving, or who have relatives here. We're going to do a piece that features all the songs of the various services, and it's called the Armed Forces Salute. And if you would, if you are serving, or have served, or you're a family member, when you get to your song, stand up so we can thank you, your loved ones, and family for their service. The Armed Forces Salute. Thank you all. Of course, we thank all the veterans and veterans' families for the sacrifices that they all make. Thank you very much. And there goes Amtrak. Heading north. Okay, we'd like to wind up with a good old march that I don't think anybody plays it very much anymore. It's written by a man named Harry Alford, who wrote marches and who also had one of those songs to order businesses on Tin Pan Alley. Early in the 20th century, made a lot of arrangements for famous vaudeville performers. This one here he calls a devilish good march, and the title is Imp by Harry Alford. Thank you. You've been a wonderful audience, and I'd like to thank once more the Carmen Community Funeral Homes for sponsoring us, for First Town Downtown for helping a lot of things happen down here tonight, and you have been a great audience, and there really wouldn't be a concert unless we give you one more. I'm sure many of you will recognize what it is. It's our National March by, of course, John Philip Sousa, The Stars and Stripes Forever. A great march for a month that has the 4th of July in it. Thank you. Thank you all very much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your family for sponsoring us to the first town downtown, for helping us and getting us all set up down here. Hope you have a fabulous rest of the summer and hope we'll see you again soon. Thank you all. Thank you. Good night.